All right, HR3 Fraction Buster equations. Essentially, you want to bust the fraction. That's where this name comes from, because we're trying to be a buster of fractions. Because if you look at this has a lot of fractions in it with pluses and minuses and stuff. And so then what you're trying to do is get a common denominator. That's the key to this. If you can change them all to the same denominator, change all fractions to the same denominator, then you're going to be fine, because then you can cross them off and you can just solve it regularly. So I go up here and I've got three different denominators. Here's a denominator of 9, a 5, and I put a 1 on that, so that is a denominator of 1. Now what do 9 and 5 have in common? Where would they be in common? Well, it's kind of weird, but it's 45 is the first time that they meet. So I'm going to take this times 5 to make it 45, then I have to take this times 5 to make it. However I do the bottom, I have to do the top. Then I'm going to multiply this by 9, multiply this by 9, and then this one I'm actually going to multiply by 45 over 45, because it's the only way that you're going to get 45 on the bottom and the top. So then once you did that, you would have 5x over 45 plus 18x over 45 equals 135 over 45. Now that's the magic moment, because now all of the denominators are the same. They're all 45. Woohoo! So that means we can cross them off and we don't even care about them anymore. That's just the way it goes. And then we end up with 5x plus 18x. Well, we call that 23x in the business equals 135. Then you take 135 divided by 23 on your calculator. So I go 135 divided by 23, and it gives me this really big long decimal. Well, we don't want to have that kind of an answer. We'd much prefer an exact answer, so we use the math key. This math key right here, I push it, I go math, and then it gives me some choices to turn it into a fraction, and so then I just push enter, enter, and it shows me the correct reduced fraction is 135 over 23, and that's the number that we would want. So x equals 135 over 23. Now if you had that 5.87 number, I mean that's approximately what it is, 5.87, that's okay too, because that's just rounded off. Okay, this one here, I have an x in the denominator of 5x, and then this would be over a 1. Well, these would meet at 5x, because I could change them all to 5x pretty easily. Multiply this by 5, leave this one, take this times 5x and this times 5x. Now I know they're all 5x, just cross them off. You don't have to rewrite them. So then 5 equals 6 plus 5x. Subtract 6 on both sides. That would give us negative 1 equals 5x. Divide by 5. And there you go. X equals negative 1/5. Or if you typed it as negative 0.2, that would be the same thing as well.